Yo, what's up everyone? So, last episode, we added in a static enemy which we could shoot, produce blood particles on and kill. So today we're going to expand them a bit by adding in some animations and a proper death animation before destroying them. I want to create a Black Ops Arcade style shooter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be switching out my enemies for a free zombie asset which I found on the Unity asset store. If you want the same zombie asset, it will be the link at the top of the description. First, the zombie doesn't come with animations, so we're going to need to go into Mixamo again and download a load of them. The package actually supplies an FBX model which we can import into Mixamo to have our animations be accurate to the model which we're using. At the moment, I can only see us needing 4 animations. We're going to need a animation for them spawning in, a running animation, an attacking animation, and a death animation. Go and gather those animations yourself now and then come back to the video. So with our animations downloaded, drag them in and drag the prefab zombie from the package into the scene. We'll quickly create an animation controller and then extract all of the animations from what we just downloaded. We'll set all of the animations to humanoid as well. I'll quickly set up the zombie in a similar way as to how we set up our player from before and attach the animator controller to our zombie. If we drag in one of the animations that we just downloaded, you should see that it will just play straight away. On initially playing, you'll see that we actually lift up when we transition to a running animation. So what we'll do is we will go into the animations and we'll just tick all of these boxes, baking in the positions. Now we'll start on our animation graph. Add 2 parameters called inRange and isAlive. We'll hook up our zombie run to death and attack, then transition back from our attack to run, and then from attack to death. I'm going to set up some initial transition times and then add our parameters for changing the animations into the condition. We'll also set our isAlive parameter to true. Sweet, now I think we're ready to start on our code for this little guy. So we're going to attach our enemy script to the zombie and open it up. I'm going to quickly add some headers to make my inspector a little neater and create a new animator variable called zombieAnim. I'm just going to shift around some of my methods so that they're more relevantly grouped. I'll create a new private IEnumerator called beginDeath, and inside we'll set the bool of isAlive to false, wait for 3 seconds, and then we'll destroy the game object again. Then inside of our death method, we'll remove the destroy game object and replace it for start coroutine beginDeath. Alright, now with our death animation in, let's get the zombie chasing the player. For this, we'll need to add the NavMesh agent onto our zombie. When you add this component, you'll see that it will prompt you to install the AI navigation package. Click on that and install it. With that installed, we'll now need to create the surface area that it can navigate on. In your hierarchy, right-click, AI, and add a navigation surface. Once that's in your scene, click on Bake, and you'll now see that we have a blue area indicating the area that the AI can navigate on. Nice, let's make a start on getting all of this functional so that the enemy will start chasing us around. I'm going to create a new header for some variables that are going to be related to my attack. We'll have attack range, attack cooldown, and then we'll have a float for spawn delay to let their initial standing up animation play before they actually start chasing the player. Below we'll set up some reference variables, being player game object, a navmesh agent called agent, and a transform for the zombie visuals. We'll also have some private booleans for isActive, isDead, and isAttacking. Create a new start method and start a coroutine called activation delay. Below we'll create the IEnumerator of activation delay and wait for seconds by our spawn delay time, then isActive to true. Create your update method and do a null check to start with. These will be if isActive is false, is the zombie dead, or if the player reference is null. If any of these parameters are met, return, stopping all the code execution. Then let's have the zombie look at the player by subtracting the player's position from the zombie's position, storing that in a vector, and zeroing out the Y. Then if the look direction squared magnitude is less than 0.01, we'll set its rotation to a target rotation and slurp them to look at the player. I had to hard set the Y to 180 as my zombie kept facing the wrong way. Now let's check to see if the zombie is close enough to attack the player. Create a new float called distance to player and call the vector3 distance method to get the distance between the player and the zombie. We'll write an if statement saying if the distance to the player is less than or equal to the attack range and the zombie isn't currently attacking, we'll have a coroutine called attack. Else we're going to set the zombie's navmesh agent boolean is stopped to false, set its direction to the player again, and set our boolean of in range to false. Now let's handle the attack. Set the is attacking to true, is stopped to true, and set our in range animation to true. Wait for the amount of time our attack cooldown is, and set is attacking to false. Finally, to have the zombie stop moving when they die, in the die method, write if is dead, return. Then set is dead to true, the agent is stopped, and the is alive animation parameter to false. Below that, we'll have our begin death coroutine as normal. Set up the variables inside of the enemy script, press play, and then we should have this. Alright, so with that all done, we're going to stop here today, and we have a functional enemy, so we're looking pretty good, progress is going well. Next episode, we'll definitely make a start on spawning enemies, and then we'll maybe even create a bit more of an environment for the player to play around in.